Has the Albanese government and the Victorian government, have they done enough to protect Australia's Jews, do you think?
Look, I can only go by what I hear from my community. And I would say most voices feel it's not enough. There was a big article, I think, in the Australian today, Rabbi Ben Elton from, Sydney, calling out the Albanese government for saying, you've got to get tougher on this. You've got to, words are not enough. You've got to show that there's consequences for this type of behavior. I mean, what we saw in Sydney is insane. I was looking at things in Montreal the other day. I mean, people don't realize that this can easily, and we saw it in Sydney, but it could easily happen in Melbourne. And so I think the messaging has to be very clear, unequivocal, and the consequences have to be very clear and unequivocal, because otherwise, who knows where this will end.
What do you mean by it has to be clear? You're not finding the denunciation, the action taken by the Albanese government strong enough? I mean, I'm concerned that they sort of legitimise the over-the-top hatred of Israel, and then by extension towards Jews in the minds of many, by doing things like not denouncing the International Criminal Court's warrant of arrest for Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, that sort of thing, or banning the former Israeli Justice Minister Ayelet Shaked from coming here. I mean, these seem to me really quite extraordinary things that are legitimising the kind of hatreds you're now having to deal with.
Correct. I mean, I think all very, very valid points. And as I said, I talked to many in my community and men who've shared, those sentiments. One of the speakers who, we together with AJAC and the United Israel Appeal, who were supposed to come here, Ayelet Shaked, it was very shocking to hear that they had cancelled her visa. And I think, as you said, what happens is when these things happen, sadly, it empowers and encourages perhaps that people can take a step further. I saw a shocking video in Sydney where somebody, I think it was a tobacco store, was saying, "Get out of here, you dirty Jew," and I'm thinking, one second, this is Australia in 2024, and somebody's being called, and they had a few other expletives, which I don't want to say, on camera, unabashed, and you have to think that this. Obviously they're not supporting it, the government, but by not coming out against it, and as you said, doing certain political actions, unfortunately sends the wrong message to the community.
I think that's absolutely true, and I'm ashamed for what's happening to this country. I'm ashamed, and that we can have politicians that say so little when they have got so much power to do good and try to stop some of this. It's like we've seen this movie before, Rabbi, and for Australia not to have learned the lesson is just disgusting. Rabbi Daniel Rabin, thank you so much for your time.